Hello, my ordinary anglers. How are y'all doing? Well, this is kind of like a summation of the year, what we've learned, what we haven't learned, the things we need to know before we go in the next season. I'm gonna let you know what I'm fishing next year, pretty much, and it's getting toward the fall. We're in the fall of the year. Leaves are turning. Fish are fixing to really start biting on these lakes in the fall. When the shads start moving up and they start gorging on them, it'll be wild and more wild. So anyway, had a good trip. Personnel wise, I need to tell you a story about Stephanie Hemphill Pellegrin. Went to Sam Rayburn. Let's see, got there Sunday evening. Went out, temperature dropped, cold front. Monday, wind blowing like freaking hurricane strength. Made it interesting. As Rayburn's kind of like Kentucky Lake as far as tidal waves. So did more looking around and graphing and stuff. Looking for brush piles. The lake is extremely low, which makes active target and forward facing sonar come into play more so because of that. Stumps and trees and cypress trees all completely out of the water. Anyway, day 2 comes along and I got put in at Mill Creek. Started going out there and the water was rough there. Wind was coming out of the north on Tuesday. Noticed my steering was having an issue. So, I talked to her, texting back and forth for quite some time. She's very nice. That's probably putting in an understatement. And she, of course, she's fishing against the guys, and so she told me that she'd had a flat and it's her Minn Kota trolling motor, power motor, the motor on her trolling motor had went out, so she was having a run of bad luck. And I told her, I said, yeah, and I'm having to get my steering repaired here in Jasper, so I'm kind of stuck waiting on my boat to get fixed. So what does she do? Now, she's a competitor, right? She's a pro. She's fishing against me, and I'm fishing against her. What does she do? She texts me and tells me to come to the St. Augustine ramp and bring my stuff, and I'll hop in the boat. I'll show you about the lake, show you what's going on, and the whole 9 yards, right? Now, and she did. She really did. I was more than thankful, more than impressed, more than... There's no one else would do it. Nobody else that I can think of right off the hat would go to those extremes and help me out. And showed me what was going on, and best I could, tried to show me some places to get into, but later on I didn't try to get into them. The wind was too bad out of the south that to try to get up Ash Bayou, and I don't want to kill it, the name that is. But not many people, they don't know what they're doing, will lose a lower unit up in there. But anyhow, so I had I weighed in fish. I got to go across the stage. This is my rookie year. So you see the picture. You'll see that picture of me holding up 2 fish on my Rayburn video, Sunset to Rayburn video. I love to fish. I love to teach. I love to help people. And I'm gonna tell you, I'll do anything. And let me just tell y'all right now, Stephanie has a show called Bass Hub on Tuesdays on, I believe, Facebook, and it's live at 6 p.m. May kind of mess up with our Bass Club meetings, but if you ain't in my Bass Club, you can tune in and help support her broadcast. She has various folks that come on and talk fishing, and I think you'll like it. I think you'll like her, and I like to help promote her because she helped me out and went to the extremes to help me out. And that is an ordinary angler. That is a person that we need to all emulate. I told her too that she is a role model. There's a lot of girls that like to fish, and women. Girls, women, ladies that like to fish, and you I told her, just keep on trucking. Keep on winding and grinding. That she'll be all right, because other little girls and young anglers that are women will look up to her as someone to follow. And I have a great granddaughter and granddaughter, and if they fish, then they'll have someone to watch too, that they feel like represents them. And I surely hope that she does well. I'm going to help her when she comes to Kentucky Lake. She's going to fish Toyotas. If she fishes Kentucky Lake, I will make sure to help her in every way I can. That'll be legal. Anyway, as far as information goes, there's rules about it. So, things we've learned. Well, when you go to a lake, you better know. First one from Ross Barnett is, one, if you go to a lake and you are fishing a lake, you better make sure what the water conditions are as far as falling, rising, whatever. Sometimes you can't find out, sometimes you can. But my fish got left high and dry after the lake fell a foot overnight on Ross Barnett, and I've been fishing it for a long time. Plus, I had never fished above the 43 bridge, and most of the fish were caught north of the 43 bridge. So, have to learn that part of the lake. I will make sure of it next year, that will not happen. Oh, the Red River. Number 2, Red River. Oh my gosh. What can I say about the Red River except it sucks? It's the most beautiful lily pads, grass thing, but there just ain't no fish. No fish to speak of. And 3, if you had 10 pounds a day, you got in the money, I think. I couldn't catch a keeper, and didn't kind of figure things out till the last day when we found some of the rock jetties along the river that the fish were moving up and down. They had to have shad there, but you had to find good shad, but they were moving up and starting to bite in the little cuts of those jetties or entrances to wherever they went. So didn't get on that kind of thing to the very last and kind of understand what was going on. Plus, watching other people videos, I've never just took my boat, my big bass boat, and run it into just running amongst lily pads or right in the middle of grass and none of that. I didn't know. I learned that you can do that, and because you don't know what's under there, trying to tear stuff up. So of course, you know, I don't have sponsors that's going to fix everything on my boat, so I have to be a little more proactive about being careful about running over stuff, tearing stuff up, and all that kind of stuff. But I learned that that's something that will come into play in the future of doing this. Now, and 3, Sam Rayburn. Like I said, Stephanie Hemphill really helped me out. If you see anything with her across the way, you know, on the internet or whatever, that needs a support her. Caught the fish. Caught the fish on green pumpkin Christy Crawl, Texas rig, and caught the fish on chrome and blue chug bug, top water it, and I could not get them. Usually I can, in the days when Kentucky Lake had grass, like the grasses down there at Rayburn, I could make them fish come up and hit that top water. I did catch 2 on it on day 1. Day 2 was terrible. Like I said before, there was a guy caught a 31-pound sack, but he ran about 50 or 60 miles up the St. Augustine River. I guess he knew that they were going to bite. Of course, the last day, day 2, he didn't fare quite as well. And I don't know who, I think Keith Combs passed him and won. And another thing too, it's important to make friends and have associations on these tournament trails, because people share information and it's very helpful to you. Trying to do the solo thing is handicaps you somewhat, but I'm for making friends and not enemies, so I don't have any problem meeting people and making friends, because I'm the ordinary angler. What do you expect? We are all ordinary and we're all anglers. And this is, by the way, a new shirt. Okay, new shirt, and I'm gonna have apparel, and you'll see on the back bass angler. There'll also be a walleye angler, and there'll also be a crappie angler with a print on the back for those people who like those species. Like I said, ordinary angler. We all just don't always fish for bass. But for next year, for next season, talk to some other folks, and it seems like the Toyota series is the most conducive as far as payouts, and you can qualify based on making the top 25 in a division, which is 3 tournaments in each division. I'm leaning toward fishing the Plains division, which will be first tournaments in March at Grove, Oklahoma on Grand Lake, the second tournament on my lake, Kentucky Lake, and the final tournament in the fall at Lake of the Ozarks. In between them, probably going to fish the Mississippi division BFL, and may pick up another Toyota or 2, either on Chickamauga or Gunnersville, which could in that other division, because if you fish 4 of the Toyotas, you're eligible for the wild. They have a wild card event, also, which is similar to fishing all 5 of the BFLs. You can qualify for a wild card event also. By fishing the Toyotas, you can make the possibility of winning and going to the championship, and if you win the championship, going to Red Crest, which you're going to championship, you're fishing what, for 100,000. Red Crest, you're fishing for 300,000. So we're going to lean toward MLF and versus BASS. Really, honestly, when you look at the numbers, the BASS opens are money wise don't do quite well to 40 places, versus now that in order to make the elites you have to fish all 9 events, and I'm not prepared to do that quite yet. Not saying I wouldn't do it in the future. Could pick up an open tournament if possible, because you know, all you have to do is win one to go to the Bassmasters Classic. So anyhow, this is kind of a 2020. I will be doing other videos in between from now to when fishing gets started again. Gonna do a little deer hunting and maybe some duck hunting, but anyway, really like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out. Drop some comments too. Oh, and by the way, those walleye cheaters have been feeling some pain. Only thing is, you don't know if you like the possibilities of what they can get. Maybe 1 year in jail, a $2,500 fine. They can get their fishing licenses suspended infinitely. So I don't know if that's good or what, but you may want to drop an opinion on that one. But anyway, this is your ordinary angler. I am out there for you, and I want you to enjoy your fishing, enjoy everything about it. I want you to learn from the channel. I'll be doing videos on that. I still have some to come up. I already did the first one. It's not for you guys who know about all the stuff. It's for moms, dads, and grandpas and granddads that don't know about it. So anyway, have a great day. Talk to you later. This is your ordinary angler saying I'm out.